Once upon a time, power was measured in things we could touch: gold, oil, steel, and land. Empires were built on the weight of physical wealth, and whoever owned the most of it ruled the world. But in the 21st century, something strange happened. The world shifted. Invisible wealth began to rise, flowing silently through networks, satellites, and glowing screens. It didn't glitter or burn. It didn't need to be mined or drilled. Yet it became the single most valuable resource humanity had ever created. That resource was data. At first, no one paid attention. Data was just information: names, phone numbers, addresses, purchase histories. When computers started recording it, it seemed harmless. People handed it out willingly for convenience. You typed your birthday to sign up for a website, shared your location for a ride, gave your face to unlock your phone, and spoke commands to a virtual assistant. Each tiny moment of modern life added another drop to a massive ocean of information. No one realized that with every click, swipe, and tap, they were building the foundation of a new global economy, one that would one day control everything. The story of how data became the world's most addictive currency began with a promise. The promise of connection. When the internet opened its doors to the public, it offered something humanity had never known before: instant communication across continents, unlimited knowledge, and a voice for everyone. But with connection came curiosity. Tech companies wanted to know who was using their platforms, what people liked, and what kept them coming back. So they began collecting quietly, endlessly, and invisibly. At first it was simple. They tracked what people clicked, which ads they ignored, which videos they watched until the end. But soon, they realized something extraordinary. They could predict human behavior, and if they could predict it, they could influence it. That realization changed everything. Suddenly, data was no longer just about numbers. It was about power. Power to shape opinions, to guide desires, to make people believe, buy, or even vote a certain way. The business model of the century was born. If the product is free, you are the product. Social media became the great marketplace of attention. Platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok discovered a new kind of goldmine: human emotion. Every like, every scroll, every second of hesitation was recorded and fed into powerful algorithms. These algorithms didn't just understand people. They studied them, learned from them, and slowly began to control what they saw. They found that anger kept people online longer. Outrage spread faster than truth. And so, without anyone realizing, technology began to rewrite the human mind. The addiction was perfectly engineered. Notifications lit up the brain like sparks of dopamine. The red icon of an unread message became a symbol of reward. Every sound, every buzz was designed to pull attention back to the screen. People became trapped, not by force, but by pleasure. They scrolled endlessly, giving away their time, thoughts, and identity in exchange for digital satisfaction. And behind it all, every single interaction was converted into data. The fuel that powered trillion-dollar empires. By the late 2020s, data had become the lifeblood of civilization. Governments, corporations, and artificial intelligence systems all thrived on it. Banks used it to decide who deserved a loan. Hospitals used it to predict diseases. Police departments used it to forecast crimes before they happened. Every heartbeat, every movement, every purchase became a data point in a vast network of surveillance and prediction. Humanity had entered the age of algorithms. Artificial intelligence supercharged this evolution. The more data it consumed, the more intelligent it became, and the more it demanded. I didn't just learn from humans. It began to shape them. It decided what content appeared on screens, what products were recommended, and what opinions were amplified. It filtered reality itself, showing each person a personalized version of the world, one that confirmed their beliefs and deepened their dependencies. In this new world, truth was no longer shared. It was customized. As data became more valuable, privacy became a luxury. Companies that once claimed to serve users began to own them. Data brokers, invisible companies hidden behind digital walls, started trading in human information like stocks. They bought and sold everything: location histories, Medical records, shopping habits, even private messages. Each person was no longer just a citizen or consumer. They were a data profile, a living stream of information, constantly updated and sold to the highest bidder. The more data people gave away, the more control they lost. Smart homes listened to conversations. Smart TVs tracked viewing habits. Smart cars recorded driving patterns. And yet, the trade continued convenience in exchange for surveillance. People accepted it, telling themselves it didn't matter. But every "I agree" clicked on a privacy policy was a silent surrender of freedom. Then came the realization that shook the world. Data wasn't just a tool. It was an addiction. Governments hoarded it for control, corporations for profit, and people for validation. Society began to revolve around digital worth, followers, views, likes, engagement. The need to be seen became a hunger. The more data you produced, the more visible you were. In teeth, sword attention replaced money, and algorithms became the new gods. But like every addiction, there came a cost. Misinformation spread like wildfire. Mental health collapsed, and truth itself began to fracture. People lived inside algorithmic bubbles, each believing their version of reality was the only one. Democracy began to weaken, not through violence, but through manipulation. Data was now more dangerous than weapons, because it didn't destroy bodies. It rewired minds. Yet, amidst the chaos, some began to awaken. Digital ethicists, whistleblowers, and technologists started warning the world. Data is not just information, it's identity. It is the story of every heartbeat, every dream, every secret. If data defines us, then to lose control of it is to lose control of ourselves. By the mid-2030s, the world stood divided: those who controlled data and those who were controlled by it. Nations built massive data fortresses, protecting citizens' information like treasure. Laws were created to give people digital ownership of their data. But even then, the addiction remained. Humanity had woven data into its DNA. Every innovation from AI to virtual reality to brain-computer interfaces demanded more of it, and people, hungry for progress, kept feeding the machine. The truth became clear. Data had surpassed oil, gold, and even knowledge and value. It had become the world's most addictive currency, a currency that didn't feed just by things, but bought influence. It shaped thought, emotion, behavior, and destiny. It was both the most powerful creation and the most dangerous temptation. In the end, the question was no longer who owns data, but who owns humanity. Because data is not just numbers, it is the digital reflection of human life. It records what we love, what we fear, what we dream, and what we hide. It is the currency of consciousness itself, and as long as we keep trading pieces of ourselves for convenience, comfort, and connection, data will remain the master, and humanity the willing slave. So the next time you scroll, click, or speak to a machine, remember this. You are not just using technology, you are feeding it. And in this new world, the richest person isn't the one with the most money. It's the one who understands the true price of their data.